Yo, it's Chazit, and thanks for tuning in. In a recent Twitter poll from account Valorant Updates, there was almost a 50-50 split on the question of whether the operator was overpowered. In this video, we're going to look at why this is such a contentious topic, and what, if anything, are Riot going to do about it. Now, there's been chatter online about whether the operator needs a nerf pretty much since when the game launched at the start of June. There were comments made in the beta, but this increased when the game launched and has only further heightened in intensity in the last few weeks, since more people have been picking up the game. And with the launch of patch 1.06 last week, this is getting even more airtime. But what is it about the operator that makes it so powerful? Well, that really depends on who you ask. In its current state, the operator is a one-shot kill on the body and a one-shot kill on the head. It will even one-shot kill through a wall if you're lucky enough to snag a headshot. But that's just standard with an FPS sniper rifle, right? Well, yeah it is, but many people out there feel that getting one shot while peeking an angle detracts from the game and ruins their enjoyment. Now, yes, of course it's frustrating getting dumpstered at the start of a round as you peek down long, but really that comes with the territory of a game like this. The issue of not being able to even peek an angle would become a moot point if you consider the dash and jump abilities that are in the game. Jet's jump and dash, Raze's satchel, just to name a few. The issue comes when the operator is being wielded by an agent with high mobility too. Jet, for example. She gets played the most. It's extremely hard to outplay an agent who can escape every ability you chuck at them or just disappear when you start to rush. Now, to combat this, we've seen some great suggestions from the community, casual players and professionals alike. One such great suggestion came from this handsome chap on Twitter. He reckons you should like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it, and personally I couldn't agree more. Hey, sorry guys, I couldn't resist. But seriously, all you need to do is look on Reddit and see the amount of suggestions that have been put on there by the community. The issue arises when you think, are Riot actually going to do anything about it? C9 Pro and streamer TenZ reckons that adding a scope sound to the operator and the marshal would help balance the snipers out. But even amongst fellow pros, there's no agreement on this. G2 Mixwell reckons that adding a scope sound is just going to really damage sniper rifles. And TenZ goes on to agree with him, saying that the op isn't overpowered, but just it's really hard to deal with. Now, up to this point, there hadn't been any official comment by Riot, but Morello, the game designer, came on stream and gave his opinion, and you can see that in this next clip.
The whole playstyle philosophy I've spoken about, op meta mainly exists because everyone is playing entrenchment, double style, sentinel, nerf. Exactly, Anders, and that's why we're also being very careful on this too. If you're playing double sentinel, my expectation is that ops body you, and you have some answers, but it's going to be much harder for you. If you're running a double controller comp, I think that's much better for dealing with ops. I think my worry, Anders, when I see it, is I don't see people running a Breach or a Phoenix or a Reyna who have, flash-like utility, because I think our flash-like utility might just not be potent enough comparatively to the power of some of the guns and weapons, right? Like, they pop slower, they're harder to place in the right space, they have lower debuff times. They don't go through smokes. If you compare it 1-to-1 to CS, ours are much worse. And some of that's by design, but maybe too much worse, right?
Essentially what he's saying is it's not the actual gun that's the issue, it's the lack of strength and the abilities that can counter it. And that's great, but there's been no comment from Riot about whether or not these are going to get a buff in the future. One of the most commonly agreed on suggestions, and one that Shroud has championed, is that for 4,500 credits the operator is far too cheap. The argument being, for an agent like Jet, who doesn't necessarily need to buy all of her abilities straight away, if she gets kills early on with the operator, she can just spiral out of control from there. Now, piggybacking off this suggestion is to lower the amount of money that you get from kills with the op. Doing that would control the economy and mean that it was far less beneficial to just rush it from the start, and should lead to people being a bit more selective with when they pick to use it. In another vein, two other suggestions have been to make scoping slower and add a delay after each shot so you can't just spam straight after another. What this would hopefully do is mean that people would have to be a bit more clever with how they use the operator and really think about their positioning. Thankfully now we've had some official comment from Riot, so we know their official stance on this. On the 27th of August in Ask Valorant number 6, the game designer Nick Wu gave the following statement. It reads, "We think the operator isn't too OP, but do believe that the feeling sometimes comes from a lack of personal agency against the weapon, for agents that don't have tools to break the line of sight for themselves. Coupled with an overwhelming amount of team coordination to effectively counter an operator, we're looking into a lot of avenues to help smooth out the experience, but we do believe that the operator should be powerful and should encourage a team to thoughtfully enter a space where it might be in play." He does go on to say that everything in this game is up for review and they're going to constantly balance and change things as and when they feel it's needed. Now, for now it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen with the operator, but I want to know what your opinion is. Do you think the operator is too powerful, or do you think it's in a good spot? Comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are. I also wanted to say, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content similar to this, then please do consider dropping my channel a subscription. You can also catch me streaming on Twitch 3 times a week over at twitch.tv/chazit. I'm certainly not Wardell, but we have a lot of fun, so come and say hi. But that's the end of the video, folks, so thank you for watching to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.